Welcome to my Greatest Imagination podcast. Josh Lamar Morris III is the co host, and I welcome Ruth A. Sharp. Ruth is an author of The Lake Effect. Topic: How Ruth Sharp came to write The Lake Effect, Impulse or Instinct. Welcome, Ruth, again.
Hello.
And my first question is tell me and listeners about yourself and where you from.
Well, I live in Denver currently with my husband and our two dogs and a cat, and we have two grown children. And I grew up in the Midwest, lived a little bit in LA, and kind of worked in the corporate world and then got married and just been an avid reader all my life and just decided to take some creative writing courses. And that's where the impetus for the Lake Effect came about. It was a writing assignment that I had to describe a lake where a murder had been committed, but I couldn't come right out and tell the readers that. So you have to be kind of sneaky, so to speak, in your wording. So that's how it came about. A writing assignment turned into a 300-page novel. So, and that was a couple of years ago that I think 3, 4 years ago that I took those writing assignments. So those writing courses. So that's kind of what my deal is.
Great. Next question. Ruth, tell me and listeners how you came to write The Lake Effect.
Well, like I said, it was a writing assignment and that I had to describe this lake. And then my teacher said, instead of talking about the lake and the murder and the blood and the guts and was a gun used, was a knife used, I decided to focus on the characters and just make them all flawed. And it's I just sat down and just started writing it, and I wanted, since she gave me that feedback about the characters being flawed, I just thought, okay, I want this person to be flawed, and started them out at 13, and then the book ends when they're 22. And it's really a dark coming of age novel. Uh, it's not graphic in detail, but there is it's not graphic with the murder, but there is a near rape scene, and that is not graphic as well. And it's just about her coming of age and dealing with her mom leaving, and her dad being kind of an absent father, and just really a dark coming of age. I don't know how else to describe it.
Great.
So,
That's great. Good enough. Next question. What did you learn about you writing your book?
when did I learn about it? I mean, like when.
No, what did you learn from yourself writing a book? Like
Oh,
mistakes.
sorry. What did I learn? Oh my gosh. I learned that writing is an extremely intimidating process. I learned that I can think all day long about what I want these characters to do, but nothing happens until you put it down in words. So you can think while you're taking a shower or driving to the grocery store, I'm going to have the character do this. I'm going to have the character do that. But until you sit down and actually listen to the characters tell you what they want you to write, I know that sounds weird, but nothing's done until you put it down on paper. And even then, until you go back and edit it, nothing's really done until you've edited. And that's a creative process. There's no right or wrong, and you have to be okay with that. So I stopped stressing about what the characters were going to do, and I just made myself sit down and write it. So that's the basics of what I learned from it.
Great. I'm a starter in writing myself. I haven't wrote a book yet, but I write short stories, so I understand. Great.
No, what? Yeah, you'll have to maybe possibly share some of your short stories with me after the podcast if you're okay with that.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay, next question. What are the challenges as a book author?
Well, the challenges of a book author are, it's easy to put a book up on Amazon. It's hard to make that book sell. So self-publishing is becoming a really big commonplace occurrence now. So one, there's a lot of competition. A lot of people, you could put a book up, your next door neighbor could put a book up on Amazon, but it's how do you get noticed? Um, and the decision to just when you self-publish, then you have to do all of your marketing, you have to pay for all of your editing, as opposed to going the traditional route of having a publishing company, do all your marketing for you and help you really get your name out there. But it's hard to get a book signing deal. It's hard to get an agent. Um, so, and it's a business, right? At the end of the day, it may be a creative product, but at the end of the day, it is a business, and you want to recoup your expenses, and you want to be read. So you got to kind of be in it for the long haul. So that's what I would say.
Great. Last question. Tell listeners where they can purchase your book and contact you.
Well, I do have a website. It's ruthsharpauthor.com. You can buy it on Amazon. Just type in The Lake Effect, Ruth Sharp, and that will come up. Let me get my book. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. So here is what it looks like. It's kind of a blue front page, and it's got a picture of a girl, and so that's what it looks like. So yeah, Amazon.com.
Great. Anything else you want to tell listeners?
Well, again, I don't want to give the book away, but it is, if you like books that have a lot of discussion, and there are 10 discussion questions at the end of the book, like for book clubs and things like that, um, that will make you think. There's moral dilemmas in the book. There, again, the characters are flawed. You're maybe not going to necessarily like them. If you're looking for really kind of a feel good type of read, this probably isn't it. But if you're looking for a page turner and a little bit of a mystery, because you don't know, this girl is on a quest, during this coming of age, and you want to know what she wants to know. And so if you want to come along with this ride and kind of discover the mystery, then I think it'll interest you.
Right. Thank you, Ruth, for being my guest. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in at My Greatest Imagination podcast. You can follow me on Apple or Spotify. Thank you.